right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we may have some good stuff coming for us in this boxing world. Man, at the beginning of January 2023, word out on the street is that Jaron Boots Ennis and Gervonta Tank Davis may be giving us a Don King type of situation. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the welterweight division and in the lightweight division at the same time, talking about a fight card, which is something that we don't get to talk about a lot. We usually get to talk about fights, but not fight cards. And in this particular instance, we may very well be getting a fight card in Washington, D.C. That is exactly what I need as a boxing fan, and I'm telling you, as a boxing fan, if this is true, I will be there. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really, really does mean a lot. For your the comments that you leave in the live streams that we do every day, and excuse me, and in the super chats and the cash apps that you guys leave with the channel, and the super thanks that you get in these videos here, which you can see a little heart sign and a dollar sign, heart with a dollar sign in the middle down below. That really does help the channel continue to produce the videos and keep the conversation pushing that we have in this boxing forum. And I do want to again let people know that this is a boxing forum. I do not consider myself to be a boxing reporter. I consider myself to talk about reports that come out. I know that may be a slight, kind of a slim, difference for some people. But for me, it's really about talking to boxing fans, other boxing fans, about what's going on and having good conversations about what you think about whatever is going on in the sport of boxing. And this particular information that is coming out, I am very, very excited about. And that is that Jaron Ennis, this is not 100% sure, but that Jaron Boots Ennis and Gervonta Tank Davis may be fighting on the same card, the same night, the same location in Washington, D.C. on January 7th. Now, let me tell you why I think that this is so exceptional, right? And also, people are going to say, well, who do you think they will fight? And I will give you my answer to who I think they will fight, or I hope that they were fighting, after I explain what is so significant about this. In a lot of times, and more than likely, this is going to be a pay-per-view event because it is a Gervonta Tank Davis pay-per-view, right? And Gervonta Davis fight. And Gervonta Davis has steadily been on pay-per-view fights, right? So I don't see why this would be any different. So you're going to probably have to pay you're probably going to have to pay $79 to see him fight who he fights. Now, what is the good news about Jaron Ennis? Jaron Ennis is one of the best fighters in boxing, in my opinion. Not just the welterweight class, the welterweight weight class, or welterweight weight class. Not just one of the best young fighters in boxing, but one of the best, most talented, most skilled, right now ready to beat anybody in the world type fighters. That's what I think Jaron Ennis is. And I am excited to see him fight at any point in time. Now, the fact that you'll get to see two good fighters on the same card, two guys that are I believe, are top pound for pound, skilled and talented fighters. And I mean this. It is very hard for me to get my head around people saying that there's 10 fighters in boxing that in any type of pound for pound consideration are better than Gervonta Davis. And with Jaron Ennis, I understand that he needs to get more of the big fights, right, and have him beat people that are more familiar with. But when I look at him in the ring and what he does in the ring, it's very hard for me to believe that there's 10 better fighters in the world than he is. But there is a lot of fighters, and and opinions can vary. That's just what my belief on it is. But to get these guys both on the same card in DC, dude, that is exceptional, man. Because number one, it makes the pay-per-view very, very worth it to me. because I will watch Jaron Ennis fight no matter who he fights. And I will watch Gervonta Davis no matter who he fights. There can be some argument about, man, do I really want to pay the money if Gervonta Davis is not going to fight Devin Haney, or if he's not going to fight this guy or the other? But when you can actually go to an event, and that's more than likely what I'm going to do, and I don't usually say that a lot ahead of time, more than likely I'm going to take a plane out there to DC and buy the tickets, get good tickets as soon as they come available, and sit right ringside for that fight so that I can see these two young, great fighters, you know, and basically at the same place at the same time, and not have to do what you do in a lot of circumstances with cards, which is just not have one guy at the very end that you may be interested in seeing, or maybe one fight at the end of it that you may be interested in seeing, but none of the other fights, or very few of the other fights, really have any intrigue to them whatsoever, or don't really have that special talent that you just want to see early. You know, similar to like when I went to the Ray Vargas fight with Mark Magsayo for the WBC featherweight title. I was really amped about that fight and made sure that I went out of my way to go to it, because there was also Frank Martin was on that card, and I wanted to get an opportunity to see him in person. Now, as far as who do I think these guys are going to fight, people are going to say, well, is he going to fight Ryan Garcia? I don't have any inside information on this whatsoever, other than to say, you know, I listened to what Gervonta Davis's camp says, and they definitely want the fight with Ryan Garcia and want that to be made. I just don't see Oscar De La Hoya crossing the finish line on that. I just don't see it. And now that he has a date, it's apparently, if this is true, that he has a date for January in DC set, more than likely that's not Ryan Garcia. Now, who could it be? I know that I'm probably wrong, but I keep looking back at news that came out earlier in the year. And remember that Josel Corrales had actually fought to become a mandatory in a title runoff for Gervonta Davis. So there's a chance that it is him. Or I know the Abner Mares bout is not going to take place because both he and Gervonta Davis said that was not going to happen. But I'm sure there's going to be somebody. You know, who it's not going to be. It's not going to be Devin Haney. It's not going to be Lomachenko. It's not going to be Shakur. And it's not, more than likely, it's not going to be Ryan Garcia. So no matter who it is that he fights, it's going to be somebody that people complain about. And we will just move on from there. But at least in this instance, if this is true, that you can get the Jaron Ennis. And now Jaron Ennis has a good fight that he can make, and that's with Stanionis. If Stanionis is not able to get that Errol Spence Jr. fight, he's going to have to fight somebody. He's going to have to fight somebody else. I know that Virgil Ortiz had petitioned to fight Stanionis, but I haven't heard anything about that coming through. But Gervonta Davis versus somebody and Jaron Ennis versus Stanionis, man, would love to have that fight that take place, because again, that's not just a fight. It's a fight card, and it allows you to have fun watching a fight for several hours. Similar to the very good fight card that was put on in the UK earlier this year, where you had, I do believe you had 3 really good fights on there, but the 2 of them for sure were really nice, which was the Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall and the Meyer versus Bumgardner fight. Those were back-to-back fights where it's like, man, you got to watch that card for a while and enjoy that card for a while. So hopefully that would be the case with this. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.